The London Metal Exchange is the world's largest non-ferrous futures and traded options exchange. It plays a central part in the lives of consumers as well as in finance, industry and manufacturing. Although the LME deals with complex and sophisticated financial instruments, it's also deeply rooted in industry. The LME provides a means to determine the price of metals in the future, removing uncertainty and allowing for predictable cash flows and ultimately a more stable and lower product price for the consumer. The LME's history goes back more than 400 years, but it started to develop as a global market with the Industrial Revolution. Demand for metal in Britain soared, resulting in the need to import vast quantities from across the globe. To protect the cargo from a fall in value during the voyage, which took 3 months or more, traders soon developed a mechanism so the metal could be sold in advance for a future delivery date, based on the vessel's estimated arrival time. This process is known as hedging and protects both buyers and sellers from price fluctuation. Trading developed rapidly, and in 1877 the London Metal Exchange was formed. Trading dates were formalized and the practice of open outcry trading in the ring became established. Today, it's unrivaled in the non-ferrous metals sector. Business is still conducted in the traditional open outcry trading ring, supported by a 24-hour inter-office telephone market and a state-of-the-art electronic trading platform, LME Select. This is the LME of today, an organization whose services are essential to the world's mining, metals and financial communities. It provides the world reference price for primary aluminium, copper, zinc, lead, tin and nickel, and its aluminium alloy contracts are world leaders. It has an annual turnover of over $2,000 billion and contributes more than £250 million to the United Kingdom's invisible earnings. The absolute value of the LME to the world economy is harder to calculate, but enormous. At every stage of the manufacturing process, the LME can help by removing price uncertainty, a truly remarkable service. The LME trades both futures and options contracts and traded average price contracts known as TAPOs in primary aluminium, copper, zinc, nickel, lead, tin, aluminium alloy and NASAC, or North American Special Aluminium Alloy Contract. It also trades LMEX, an index of its 6 primary metals. All LME metals futures contracts except for LMEX are deliverable every day for the first 3 months, after which they become weekly contracts out to 6 months, and monthly contracts out to 15 months for lead and tin, and 27 months for aluminium alloy, NASAC, nickel and zinc. Primary aluminium and copper contracts go 63 months forward. Business of the LME falls into 3 main categories: hedging, pricing and providing for locations of last resort delivery. Hedging is the process of managing the metal price risk inherent in a business by offsetting that risk in the futures market. The ability to hedge means that industry exposed to price risk as an integral part of operating can decide on the amount of risk that it's prepared to accept. Companies that use the LME for hedging purposes represent every section of the metal industry: miners, smelters, refiners and recyclers, merchants, distributors and manufacturers. The London Metal Exchange now has over 80 member companies split into 5 categories. These are ring dealing members, associate broker clearing members, associate broker members, associate trade clearing members and associate trade members. A typical day starts as early as 7 a.m. with brokers making markets for the purchase and sale of metal. In addition to inter-office trading, dealers now have a dedicated electronic trading platform, LME Select. This system connects ring dealers and associate broker clearing members from around the world and allows them to execute trades on all LME contracts. At 11:45 a.m, ring dealing teams gather at the exchange to conduct the more traditional form of dealing known as open outcry, where each of the metals is traded in 5-minute sessions. All metals are traded in US dollars. Futures and options are transacted in copper, primary aluminium, lead and zinc in lots of 25 tons, aluminium alloy and NASAC 20 tons, nickel 6 tons and tin 5 tons. A ring dealing team consists of the dealer who sits in the ring and conducts the trades, clerks who record these trades and pass the quoted prices to their offices by telephone, and clerks who receive telephone orders and pass them back to the ring dealer. All open outcry is abbreviated. A trader wishing to sell at $2,005 will call openly, "I'll sell at 5." a buyer might respond with, "I'll buy at $3," indicating he's willing to buy at $2,003. The seller may then reduce the price to $2,004 and a deal may be struck. Clerks record all the transactions and use a series of simple hand signals to relay information back to other clerks on telephones who pass the information on to their offices. Throughout the trading session, all deals are entered into the LME's matching and clearing system and sent via computer to news vendor services who display these real-time prices all over the world. Once all 7 metals have been traded, there is a 10-minute break, after which the process is repeated. This second ring of trading is the most significant because it is then that the official daily prices are discovered. This is the second of the LME's main services. The last cash prices bid and offered become the official daily prices at which all contracts falling due are settled and are predominantly used as the basis price for physical contracts throughout the international metals industry. These prices are instantly shown on news vendor screens and will be printed in major financial newspapers and trade journals. Following the second ring, a period of trading known as the curb begins. It's a less formal trading session when all metals are traded simultaneously. In the afternoon, the whole process is repeated. In all, over $8 billion worth of LME contracts are traded every working day. The third main service the LME offers is last resort delivery. Most LME contracts are used for price risk insurance, with the contract being bought or sold back before becoming due. As a result, only a small percentage of these contracts result in a physical delivery of the specified brand, shape, and quantity of metal. Deliveries that do take place reflect market supply and demand. The LME compiles daily stock reports which include this information and which play a major part in the assessment of the market prices. Physical deliveries can take place at one of over 400 warehouses, located at over 30 sites around the world covering the USA, Europe, and the Middle and Far East. These warehouses are approved but not owned by the LME and undergo a rigorous selection and inspection process to ensure they meet the LME's standards. The delivery of an LME contract is in the form of an LME warrant, a bearer document entitling the holder to take possession of a specified tonnage of a specified metal at a specified warehouse. These warrants are produced and transferred using SWORD, the LME's electronic warrant transfer system. Lotus, one of the world's most prestigious car manufacturers, uses the hedging services of the LME as an integral part of its operations. Every year they produce 4,500 new cars, resulting in the need to purchase large amounts of LME traded metals, for example aluminium, which is used extensively in the creation of the Lotus chassis. Car manufacturers use the LME's hedging services to guarantee the purchase price of the semi-processed material over long periods of time, and in doing so they can accurately forecast the cost and ultimate forecourt price of the vehicle. If this service were not available to them, the build cost of the car would fluctuate in line with the cost of the aluminium, affecting both profitability to them and sales price to the general public. The Chorus aluminium smelter in Germany has a different reason for using the LME's hedging services. The justification for hedging as part of the company's price risk management lies in its aim to protect Chorus against losses that may arise from falling metal prices. Most costs are known and fixed for a longer period of time, whereas the sales price moves in line with LME quotations and is usually fixed with customers on a more short-term basis. Consequently, Chorus sells metal far forward in order to protect its profit margins. Then, when a buyer fixes the price at the LME's prevailing rate, any difference in the value is offset by the LME's trading profit and loss. Alternatively, if the smelter is unable to find a buyer, assuming the material is of an LME-approved brand, it can be delivered to one of the LME-approved warehouses and the smelter receives the hedged price. London owes much of its success as an international financial centre to the dynamism and creativity of the institutions that have shaped its history. For the past 125 years, the London Metal Exchange has played a major role in the shaping of that history. It is a vital part of the world's trading system, an exchange of global renown, and one of the world's top 10 financial exchanges. The expertise of the members of the exchange in helping to construct and operate individual hedging programs for their clients at every stage of the metals business is of vital importance to the world's metals community and adds up to an immense volume of business every working day of the year. In an ever-evolving environment where markets and exchanges grow even more competitive, the London Metal Exchange continues to flourish as a key player in the global marketplace, leading the metals industry forward with its feet firmly on the ground and its eyes focused on the future.